Yeah, I was raised in a new age. Now they gripping max with the scopes on it. Running up in traps cause they dope hungry. Young little hitters with the dope money, dope money. I was never in the coke money, but I was in the kicking dope money. Licking on my tip, did she blow on it? I remember days I was so hungry. Now I'm in the booth spitting clips with it, no frontin'. Kush pack propaganda got these hoes stuntin'. Let me clear the smell with this cocaine. And the sick high ball, no road game. Old man, kid with the gas, no propane. No games, gripping on the joystick, point aim. Let it rip, let the blood drip on the melody. Let it be living for the cause, what you telling me? I do this for all of my niggas. I do this for all of my bitches. I do this for all of the hustlers. I do this for all y'all who with it. I do it and do it alone. I'm doing this shit on my own. I'm doing this shit for my village, yeah. I'm doing this shit to be strong. Pulling up, I got a mask on. See the same fuckboy that was hating from the last song. Act wrong, they gon' wear that bullet when that blast on. Get the cash and I clip his ass in the back door. Jump inside the all black, Yoda in a mask. Call me a 40 that was colder than the last. Celebrate a win with my youngies on the move. And I made a sweet lick just to put me in that mood. Real talk, man, I ain't never been the one to talk, man. Hopping up the porch, with a BB and some pellets. I get careless, I was feelings, had the pride and the hard game. Talking out the side of your neck and protection, cause these soldiers I be with looking through the red dot. And trapping out the Ford with a TV and the dresser full of pressure. Trying to sell it, then we move it out the box, man. Then we move it out the box. Used to putting band rolls in the shoebox.
And that's just the intro.
Appreciate that, man.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Emano Talk. It's your boy Daniel Emano. This would be the third episode of season 4. We had to call an audible a little bit. We were originally supposed to have Matt the fucking rapper in here, but hey, he had to go take care of some personal things, so we are going to have him back on a later date. But filling in for the role, Fuegavelli himself over here, Kidd Adamz.
Yo, what it do? What it do? You feel me? In the building.
What's good, bro?
Rolo gang, we here, you know what I'm saying?
It's wild for the energy in your track. You're just like so like content, like and calm.
Yeah.
Like ever since you hopped out the web, you're just like, yo, what's good, man?
Yeah. I'm generally a chill person, you feel me? But like when it's time to turn up, I'm there with it. So, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the goal for us type shit.
Well, let's start off there. Let's talk about energy because Fuegavelli brings a hell of a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling fresh off the release?
I mean, I'm feeling good, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get it in the right ears, you feel me? Get the right listeners, you know, the ones to get attached to it and just really gravitate to what I'm saying on it if they can't relate, you know what I mean? Just try to build that presence with my base, my fan base, really. That's really what I'm on with this project.
And this is your first project, what, in like 2 or 3 years, something like that?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, because I was doing a little digging and I was like seeing, I was like, damn, I was like, he really ain't put too much out since like 2017. Like maybe a single, I think it was like at the beginning of the year or two.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was about it.
Yeah.
Obviously that means a lot went into this project. So with that hiatus, what has been happening with you? What's been happening with Kidd Adamz?
Well, you see, the thing was like this. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't originally planning on dropping this project at the beginning of the year. That wasn't a plan. You know what I'm saying? But you know, due to COVID, everything got switched up. So you know, I felt like okay, if I'm gonna be on a break, you know, I might as well give people something. But it just kind of transitioned once I dropped Angels and Demon early on in the year, and I seen what kind of like, you know, reaction I got from that. And then I dropped a couple other singles after that, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just drop it because it's been in the stash. I've had this project for about like 4 years. You feel me? So
okay,
I was like, yeah, like let me just drop it. You know what I mean? Because it's been sitting and it's still fire. You feel me? So it's like, why not?
And it definitely has that next level sound to it. I mean, I hope people who are listening now who just heard the intro alone are able to realize like what kind of sound went into it. And hearing you say even like, oh, I've had, you know, these songs are like at least some of these songs stashed for at least the, you know, most part of the last 4 years. A lot of people don't realize like how sometimes an artist is a few steps ahead of the game. Do you feel like you had to like train yourself to kind of get to that level, or do you feel like it was just something that almost organically happened for you?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. Like, I felt like I always had like it, you know what I mean? But you still gotta like, and that's why I think my camp, because they helped me with that a lot. Like, as far as like artist development and just like, you know, finding my niche and just finding like my sound and who, you know, like all of that obviously developed over a long period of time. But I think it was that consistent like going at it, because we was always in the studio. It was never a moment I wasn't in the studio, so I was always working and just, you know, working on my sound. So I think it's a little bit of both, being organic and like, you know, training myself to get to that point too.
Tell the people how long you've been in this Miami scene. Because I've heard about your name for a while now. Like, I want to talk about like since like 2014. Like, I've heard about Kidd Adamz.
That's what's up. That's
you know, like that was like when
Yeah.
you were probably first still coming up, because you know, like I'm like cool with people like from like West Side Plague, like Ivan from Fast Life,
bet,
Kevin Obo from Vintage Stereon, like all of them. Like those are some of my closest people. So like when they were starting to throw shows like way back in like 2012, 2013, 2014. You know, names like yours, Prez P, like these were names that were actually still around back then.
Most there. I was actually like, I was around them boys at one point. Not too heavy, but you know, I think I just like rubbed shoulders with them at one point, or met them at like, you know, some type of event. But I think I I remember running to them boys a lot. I think it was Fast Life. That's, well, I don't know if you familiar with them. But
yeah, of course. Like they literally live right up the block. Like those are my people. Like I've known a lot of them since high school.
Oh, that's lit. That's lit. Yeah. So I used to rock with them boys in high school, but. You said 2014, 2013. I was actually like, it was a song that was actually popping off way before then. It was called Straight Like That. Like a lot of people that's really, you know, like, you know, Dade County, they really, well, no, I mean, actually, you know, Broward should know about it too. That song was really popping in like 2012. That's when we dropped it. So I was kind of, and that, I think President, they was on the scene around that time. They know, you know what I'm saying? So it was. I've been out here for a long stretch. I ain't gonna lie, almost 8 years, probably going on 10. So that's what a lot of people don't know, that, you know, it just switched up and transitioned over a while. You know, I got, you know, things changed. You know, obviously the sound grew. So
yeah, a lot of things develop over time. I think a lot of people now too are accustomed to like, oh, like Kidd Adamz is doing some big things right now, and they look back and they're just like, okay, like, you know, like he probably just like released his first project, but then they actually go back and then they see like, oh, you've actually been around for quite a minute. So I actually did a little bit of digging, right? We're going to talk a little more about it, but I'll jump into a track real quick. But this is honestly a track that I fuck with right here. Here we are. This one's called A Sweet Lick.
Oh,
so I'm going to run this for the people right quick.
Oh, yeah.
This is some of that classic Kidd Adamz for y'all.
Profit by working with rocks. I done seen junkies come out every corner when uncle was cooking and heat up the pot. Heat up the pot. Just to buy food, he would be up a lot. Sliding and riding and fleeing from cops and come back to the crib like you see what I got. I was raised in the jungle, I came out of beast. Felt like a monster just came out of me. Brass knuckles before walking to school. Keep it moving and don't talk to me, fool. Walking coolest is a robbery tool. My partner shooters to the artery, fool. Chop you up and find your body in tools. Thug niggas don't abide by the rules. I'm gutter, I grew up in the lake. Other suckers couldn't see in my taste. Motherfuckers thought I couldn't be great. So fuck your mother with a dick in the face. Bitches tripping, drop them off on the curb. Cause that money calling and that's all that I heard. Posted with niggas who been through them digits and still in there winning by calling them birds.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
That's from what? I think that said that was like from like 20, like 15 or 16 or something like that. I forgot what it said on Apple Music. But like when I went back and I listened to that, that kind of reminded me of like what I heard like way back, like when I first heard of you. So obviously the sound has transcended for you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're listening to that, I'm watching you, bro, and you're like smiling, and you're just like, damn, like okay, like I was on that shit back then too.
Yeah. Back then it was, life was a little different. You feel me? So we was just going with the flow with the music. Honestly, with that one, I was, we had some help with that. That's a Play Picasso beat. You feel me? I'm a big fan of his beats.
He produced a good amount of Fuego Valley, right?
Yeah, and that was the original plan too. You feel me? But like I said, things had happened or whatever, so we had to like put that in the back for a little bit. But yeah, I was always a big fan of his beats. So when he used to send us beats, man, I used to just really put like, if I'm gonna say something on it, it's gonna definitely be something that people gonna like do that nod their heads to, and just really be like, okay, yeah, he's saying something on it.
And I saw you like singing it back to yourself, and you're like, yo, and like I feel like it took you back somewhere. So can you tell the people like where did it take you back to? Like what did it make you feel like when you actually heard that back now? Because that's at least a 5-year-old track, right?
Yeah, it's probably like 2015. I'm gonna say.
I mean, we going into 2021 now, so yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Man, around that time I was hungry, man. Like that was a different me, honestly. And so I don't really want to go too much in the situation of where I was at that moment, but it wasn't.
Let's talk mindset then. What was younger Kidd Adamz thinking back then?
Man, I was like way more. Let's go before 2014. I was really wild. I think what calmed me down is like honestly on some real, just being real about it. Like a lot of people probably won't be real about it, but I'm gonna be real. It's just like so many people dying. You feel me? Like I especially when I left and I left my hood and I came back and I heard how many people done died or whatever, and I'm just like, that's all cool or whatever. You feel me? But I really want to make something of myself, and I see my talent, dog. I'm not finna be dumb about it. Like you could like I had my time with that. You feel me? And I just be real about it. Like. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to, like, at this point, when you put it in the music, it's more to just portray what, you're doing, which is rap music. You feel me? For me, like, I don't have my experiences with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I'm at this point where I just want to be professional about it. You feel me? Like, let me just make my little money out this. You feel me? Do what I need to do. I've had my time. Some people, like, they feel like they need to just continue the image or continue to, like, I know how I'm branding myself, and it's just in a certain way, in a certain pattern, but I don't think that living a certain lifestyle, like, or being in a certain environment is gonna help that. And I always knew that growing up.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like even doing it, like I really wasn't even at the point like where I was in my music like I was now. I didn't have that support. So it was easier for me to get influenced to do whatever. You feel me? Like I ain't
there's no one there to guide you. It's just kinda like you're just like, all right, this works right now. Because you're younger then.
Yes, it wasn't even about because the ones that the people that I had guided me in my hood, like not like because it was the way it was, but the people, you feel me, they weren't really like role models. You feel me? They was stuck in it too. You feel me? It was really get it how you live. You feel me? And I think what I thank God for and on some real nigga shit is that I realized that way early, dog. Like I really I'm like, you know what? I could really rap. I could really make beats. You feel me? I want to do something with my life, like on some real nigga shit. Like I don't want to just sit in the hood because that's what the fuck I was doing all day. Like I don't know if I could cuss or not.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was doing all damn day. Like I had dropped out of school. You feel me?
Yeah.
And like, the music situation was kind of shaky at that time for me, and that's all I had. That's all I was doing. You feel me? So it was just like, get it how you live.
It was an escape from the reality in which you didn't want to be a part of.
Really, and I think at that point that's right before I met, the team I'm with right now, which is Fuego, and that's why I'm like, you see, that's another influence to the project too, because I felt like, obviously there's some experiences in there, I talk about it. I ain't really gonna get too much into that.
Yeah, you don't have to get into full detail about that, but we want to know like what the mindset was at. So like, from what it just seems like is ultimately that like you were surrounding yourself with what you didn't want to be, and now you found the people that are going to help inspire you to be this next level artist that you're trying to be, that you're capable of obviously being. And it's taken you through quite a journey. We're gonna get into that shortly. I actually have one more track from an older tape of yours. This is actually off of the tape Juice, and this track is actually called Face Card.
Oh yeah, that's the one too. Oh, that's the one right there. Let it song.
Whoa. Walk around with that face card. On the block like HR. Niggas walk around with that AR like whoa. Round in the race car. Used to trap my day job. Now I'm in the kitchen with the air bra like whoa. face card. A young nigga got a chopper that'll leave a nigga walking with his face off. Hitting licks make more money than I ever did at a day job. Now I'm sitting with the old yay, screaming 500 on the weight mob. Money looking at us like, hey y'all, I was in the trenches with the wolf pack. Walk around in the dark, niggas always told me better never look back. Talking down on the block, got these niggas killed, uncle used to cook crack. Stalking down on the crab nigga, if he had something, then we took that. Hella contraband in my book bag, now I'm in the kitchen with the folk. In the stool whipping dope, niggas OD on the coke. Must've mixed it with the soap. Face card on 110. Bad bitches, yeah, I'm fucking with them. Sucker niggas never running with them. Got 100 killers and I'm coming with them like whoa, whoa, whoa. Walk around with that face card. On the block like HR. Niggas walk around with that AR like whoa, whoa, whoa. Round in the race car. Used to trap my day job. Now I'm in the kitchen with the air prod like whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Face card. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Got the face card like whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Face card. Face card. Nigga walk around with that face card like
young bitches in the space cars. Young bitches walk around checking niggas on the block with the face card. Pit bulls in the backyard. 20 G's in the safe with a 380 and a couple bank cards. Can't step to me with your face dirty. I clean your face with the A&R. Remember bitches done did me dirty. I was down and out and I ain't had nothing. Niggas show me how to get it right and how to never leave the crib half stunting. Flexing on them like halftime. Speaking on them like a drive-by.
That's a fire track. That tape was actually probably like your most thorough before this one, in all honesty.
Yeah, most stuff. That's without a doubt. Yeah.
And you were even enjoying that one too.
Yeah, that's like I ain't gonna lie, that was one of the most. That's it's a couple songs on there that got that same tempo and that bounce.
I like that bounce. Like that really just had like that like classic Miami bounce to it. No cap. And then your vocals, I like you could see where your vocals were getting toward Fuego Valley, like where it's at now. Like you could see where the growth was. Like even just between those two tracks alone, like you could hear that you were trying to get more melodic. You could hear that you were trying to figure out like how could I like kind of do something that people could just sing themselves back to, like whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah,
you just want people to be like whoa.
You know what's so crazy? Juice came after Fuego Valley though.
It came after, so you already had Fuego Valley just stashed away.
Ben, like that was one of my first projects that we made when I was with them. We just
wow,
that shit was so fire. We just like sat on that shit, you know, like.
And it's still good for right now.
Listen, that's not like you know what I mean. Yo. Like,
so you can only imagine what you're making now. What is that going to sound like in like 2024 if we're talking about 4 or 5 years later?
Listen, that's why I just be chilling. Like I be like, cause I know I got listeners that really want to listen to new music. Like they be like, and you know I want to be patient. You feel me? But like I be wanting to like give it to them too, cause they just be like, give it to us. Like they really. Of
course.
Be,
well, one thing with the fans. Oh, I accidentally hit the camera. This is a new angle we're trying to get. But yeah, so like one thing with fans that I even was talking about with Lil Germ, and shout out Lil Germ. I know you got him to perform at the release party and everything.
Shout out Lil Germ.
Shout out Lil Germ. But yeah, so. A lot of listeners, like their attention span is just like it's diminished. It's like nothing now. Like I mean, you hear a lot of rappers dropping like these 1.5, 2-minute songs, and they drop them in abundance. Like people will drop a mixtape now, and that shit's got like 25 songs on it, and you know, like really only like 10 to 15 of them are like songs that would probably go toward an album or a legitimate mixtape. But they're just dropping everything because fans just want more and more and more. When Benny the Butcher actually dropped his album, I remember seeing on his Instagram, someone commented, when you going to drop another one? And it's like, yo, like it was like a week after he just dropped this shit.
Yeah, you definitely right about that. And I think, you know, it all depends on the type of like, what honestly as an artist, it you know, you could, if it's not any personal situation for the reason why you're holding back music, I don't think, you know, you should like allow fans to kind of push you into doing that. You know, some people, they make just as much music as they drop, so it's not a problem for them. They feed they, you know, fan base what they want. Everybody's happy. But I felt like with me, you know, I wanted to like, cause the kind of like, you know, like you said, the development part, it ended up kicking up a notch, and I started just making great music like in abundance. You feel me? And it just like it became so much. It was like, what we gonna do with it? We ended up sitting on a lot of them. Things ended up happening. We ended up making more songs and sitting on them too.
Yeah.
So like literally like the catalog is so big that it was a smart idea to just like really sit back and just say, all right, we're gonna chill for a little bit, see how things look, and then start dropping music. And that's exactly how the year went. Cause you know with COVID, it kind of just spent the whole music game like on this axis.
Everybody just didn't even know what they were gonna do at that point. Everybody's trying to figure it out.
So that's when we like, you know what, we can go back in the playbook and just throw this one out real quick because it's still fire.
Well, some things that also happened that I also found out about that I didn't know about before. Someone who actually adapted pretty well to COVID, another past guest of the show, Tunde.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that y'all had a project together when he was Baba Tunde back in like 2016.
Yeah.
What is it like for you to look at like an artist like Tunde and think to yourself like, yo, like we had this project when we were just trying to figure things out, and like now you both have your own individual successes down the line. What has that been like for you?
It kind of, if you think about it, it feel like Cardi and Uzi, you feel me? You see how they kind of just transition, like, and it's just dope because we both doing different things, and it's like, and it's both, and like, well, honestly, you know, I think the growth part of it is the most important thing, because like we kind of had our project and then we kind of went our separate ways and we started developing in our own process, you feel me? Like I knew what type of artist I wanted to be and he knew what type of artist he wanted to be, and I think like it transitioned and it shows in how we started like either dropping music or, you know, whatever the case may be, just in that sense, you feel me? So I feel like it's dope to see it because everybody's growing in their own way. I feel like it's another artist that, you know, like I feel like, you know, his name is Soldier Living True, Poochie.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot about him. I'm trying to link up with him.
Definitely have to, you know what I'm saying? Like I think his story is probably like a dope one too, because he was on house arrest doing a lot of what he was doing, you feel me? So I feel like, and he's grew a lot too, because I remember when he jumped in the scene, it was just like, it was, you know, at first for me, I didn't think it was gonna be like, I knew he wanted to do it, but it was just like, it's hard to really jump in the scene like that, you feel me? You can have it like, at first it's just like, you know, people gonna be like, okay, because they support you, but when you really start doing your thing and pushing and really start pressing on the gas, that's when people gonna get attached. And I seen for him, it just became really, really big, you feel me? So I feel like everybody's really developing in their own way and in their own phase and just doing their own thing to really grow their brand. So it's just dope to see, because that's Miami culture for you, feel me? Different pot. I mean, it's a pot, different people in it, you feel me? Like
it's a melting pot of these different ideas. Yet, and the cool thing is like you guys are going down somewhat of a similar path, is what it seems, right? But you're on your own separate roads, and it's like y'all are just going to link back up later. It just almost feels like,
that's how
and it just seems like it always works out that way. Because I feel like a lot of people underestimate the idea of like, I'll catch you at the mountaintop, because everybody thinks the mountaintop's only good for one person, and it's like. That's not even the case.
I mean, this game is literally wide open for everybody. You feel me? Like, you know, you don't have to be like a signed artist to be successful or to grow or to.
Well, look at like United Masters and all these brands.
Exactly. That's everybody's using that right now. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Actually, we was just talking about that. You feel me? So that's definitely a thing that's gonna help a lot of artists grow into the artists they want to be. You feel me? Like as far as actually getting paid off, you know, and then everything outside of that, because it's, you know, with the right connects, do shows, get paid. You know, that's. All of that comes with it too, but that part of actually getting paid from your music is gonna definitely motivate artists to really, you know, get in tune with their fan base and their music. Like I'm seeing it now. You feel me?
And they even like track your growth and all that stuff. Cause like I even have a United Masters page. Like even though I don't sell music or none of that, but it helps me like track my social media growth and like what I could target for myself. It allows me to set goals that way, and that's what I like about things like that, is that it's helping the artists teach themselves about like what they should look out for. Because it used to be that people would go into a label, sit with the label, and the label has all the statistics and all the answers because the artist just wasn't educated in the business side of things. They just knew how to make the music. They knew how to put out the music by signing, you know, a piece of paper and thinking that someone was going to take care of everything. But a lot of artists obviously lost a lot that way.
And I think artists are a lot smarter. My bad. I mean,
no, you good.
I think artists are a lot smarter. It's a lot more information being tossed around as far as like really how to carry yourself, what to do, what to look out for. So
surrounding yourself with the right team.
A team too. You know, these tips and bits are really out here for artists to catch now. So it's not just a, you know, okay, I hope I do it. Now it's like, okay, I know how to get myself set up. I know I need this, that, and the third. And it becomes like easier for artists to really do it now. That's why you have so many people wanting to make music now, because they realize what they need.
And it's so easy to connect, especially through social media. Now, like with apps like Clubhouse, shout out to Clubhouse, because like now people are actually verbally able to connect. Like the other day, I'm in a Clubhouse room with like Kevin Noble from Vintage Stereo, and he started this whole room. And next thing you know, Papa Keith, you know, Dre from Cool and Dre, like all these people are just entering the chat and just talking with everybody like it's nothing. You know, people like who were on the original Pitbull marketing team, things like that, and they're there just dropping gems, networking, like telling you like, yo, follow me, like message me. We could definitely work on that, or I could teach you a little something about that. And I think that's really what's advancing this entire business now, and that's why everybody's able to adapt and understand the business. They're able to, you know, have access to these things that are going to allow them to grow. But with the growth of an artist, right, some of the things that you went through in this time, at least before the release of Fuego Valley, now that we know that Fuego Valley was, you know, stashed away from years ago, you've worked with some pretty big artists, at least from Florida, you know. You've gotten to work with Kidd Adamz, which Kidd Adamz is one of, you know, the best up-and-coming artists right out of Florida right now. Shout out Kidd Adamz. You've worked with Billy Blue. You've worked with Gunplay. What was that like for you as an artist to experience what it's like to work with them?
I mean, okay, well, you know, it's all the experiences were definitely different. You feel me? They were organic. I would say the first time I met Gunplay, it was actually through another artist, and it was dope because like I remember a time when I wanted to, I reached out. I was like 16, trying to, you know, do my own thing with the music. I reached out to his management, and I was like, yo, you know, like what's the try? I was professional as possible while asking though. I'm just gonna keep it short. But
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
I'm 25.
You're 25?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I thought you were like older than that.
Bro,
Yeah.
damn, I'm like, I feel young. You know what I'm saying? I want to continue feeling young.
Well,
but
I just knew that you've been around for a little minute, so I was like, oh, all right. He's probably like,
okay.
I'm 28, so I thought you were a little closer to my age. I mean, you're still right there, but
Nah, you see, back in the days, like I said, 2012, I was still in high school, but I was on the music scene though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, I don't know if you know Jimmy Dade, but you know, I was making music with Jimmy Dade at age 16. He's, you know, for me, he's a notable Miami-Dade artist.
no, yeah, I've definitely heard the name. I'm not
Yeah.
too familiar with his work, but I definitely heard the name.
Nah,
At least
most
from
dope.
years ago, I remember like hearing the name.
You know what I feel me? So like, yeah, you know, I was making music with people twice my age at that time, so I was really on the scene early. But I would say with them, with the experiences with and a shout out to each of them, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would say the experiences was all different. You feel me? Like I don't know. I really don't remember how it was when I first met Billy Blue, to be honest. I think it was through my manager at the time, Big Chuck, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of, I really don't remember that too well. But yeah, Gunplay was probably the most notable one for me because he got he got my number somehow, and he wanted to do a song. And I was like, yo, it's Gunplay, you feel me? At that time, for me, I was always a fan of him growing up too, you feel me? Because he was from Carol City, you know what I mean? Like, I'm from Carol City, so it was just like, it was in that same little, you know, triple C's, and, you know, we was always a fan of, you know, obviously, of the culture growing up.
Yeah,
so
big facts.
Be a fan of his music, cause that was dope, man. You know, seeing that. But I also at that time kind of like it signaled for me that I was what I always believed that I am now. You know, like I'm gonna say this now. You feel me? Cause I'm probably not gonna say it again. But I believe in my soul and in my heart that I'm one of the best artists coming out of Dade County. It's just only a matter of time before I really get to prove it. You feel me? But,
yeah, you gotta have that mindset. Like a lot of people, I hate when people are just like, okay, but just know you're probably not gonna be better than this person. It's like, it's not a matter of being better. It's like, are you able to be the best you could be as far as where you believe you can take yourself to?
Yeah, I
like
think
that's as far as it is.
It's more because you can have the potential, dog, but you unless you feel those shoes and really like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got, like you said, the vision, the things that you know are possible, like, which is true for me. I already done put enough work for me to like not believe that, but it's only a matter of time before I get to really prove it, dog.
Good, I like that, man. Well, now we know Fuego Valley has been stashed away for a little bit, but let's jump on into another track real quick. You actually sent me this one for Tune In Tuesday the other day, but this track is called Black Kings. Let's turn it up real quick.
Big facts.
Straight off Fuego Valley. Y'all go stream that. It's available everywhere.
My nigga pull up in the Audi truck. We got youngins that are down the bus. Ain't the time to start conflicts. All I wanna do is count it up. We ain't fucking with a lot of niggas. We ain't trying to make it down with us. I ain't trying to be nobody brother. Wanna copyright from a brother. 10 toes in the fucking dirt. You a hoe wear a fucking skirt. Hit a nigga where it fucking hurt. Ammunition in the fucking verse. With the right hook, you get sucker punch and you can feel it blow in that fucking word. Sneak this and get your face tagged. No Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. I'm a summer 16 shit. Cook a coke, I got the clean bricks. I been on my Halloween shit. Creeping on smart scene shit. Premonitions of a drive-by. It's about to be a fight. Me and Lame don't see eye to eye. Ain't connecting no Wi-Fi. I got Shawty on the dollar. Stack the money to the powder. Black kids with the power. Just because when you round us. Keep the dope in the counter. Big on me at the counter. Trap kids with the powder. Better know it when you round us. Hey, hold up. Traffic it. I just be dope on the road and they look like I'm trafficking. Niggas be thinking we lacking it. Fat when we travel, we low-key be packing it. I got my fellas in with me on everything, we gon' be next, and I promise that. I'ma finesse where them commas at. None of them niggas can hold me back. Come to your city, you know we strapped. Ace always know where the hoes be at. Niggas be feeling on internet. I ain't your buddy, don't call me that. Fuck on that bitch like we deep it up. Then tell her hoe never call me back. But she still slides over. Cause good dick make hoes bipolar. Smoke that shit with 5 orders. She cut that K like I go. Got a low light bitch with a high motor. Hey game is so mind blowing. I'ma mix that shit with a lime soda. Smoke that split till my eyes lower. When I get that check, I'ma buy Porsche. Ballin' hard like a power forward. Old money, want that old money. Talking damn money like a dinosaur. Tryna buy a portion, I can drop it for the fours. Round the city with a title for. I ain't buying whores, buying out the stores. For my bitch in the valley, who riding for me. Got some young little niggas who got it on them in the shooter who waiting to fight for me. Nigga, hold up. I got shawty on the dial up. Stack money to the pile up. Black kids.
Let's give him one more.
Just because when you
Let's give him one back to back real quick. I like this one too. I don't know how to say it though. I feel like I'm gonna fuck it up. Eliminate though.
Oh, you remember the show? You remember the show? Eliminate?
Nah, I don't.
You don't remember that show?
Nah.
What? That shit was hard.
What channel?
I forgot. It was on.
Let me set the record straight. Bitch, you just participate.
remember it at
Three girls with me doing blow, they tryna send a tape. Looking at my pocket slide. How much I'm going to fuck around and put her on my dinner plate. Yeah, as a plot, thinking niggas try me Glock. Spitting, not taking shit from no bitch, man. Up, nigga, kid from the block. Got your bitch on my jock. Sitting, feel like you hot. Don't end up with your top missing. Yeah. In the coupe with the top missing. Yeah, and I got your boo and her top missing out with the bullshit. My niggas, the opposite jeans kinda tight. I don't think that my Glock could fit back on my bullshit. Feel like Rippadella or your Mac got a full clip. Young niggas and said it for ya. I'm on a date with 2 bitches from Johnson Wells. 2 phones with me, one for women, one for clientele. I ain't with the rah-rah, I just want my guala up. My bitch tripping on me, but this shit you do is not enough. See a nigga cloud it up, now you popping up, fucking all them lame niggas, they ain't hard as us. Let me set the record straight, bitch, you just participate. 3 girls with me doing blow, they tryna send a day. Looking at my pocket slide, how much I'm going today. Fuck around and put her on my dinner plate. Yeah, as a plot, thinking niggas try me Glock, spitting, not taking shit from no bitch, man. Op, nigga, kid from the block, got your bitch on my jock, sitting, feel like you hot. Don't end up with your top missing. Not with the shits, push that bitch to the left like you irreplaceable. Bitch, I guess don't expect no thing from a nigga. I ain't that nice. It was dark in my heart, now I'm bright. Flashlight, pick ups my old bitch. Shout out to my new bitch. Riding in the cool whip, she lick my cool whip. Yeah. Oh shit, head game is head game.
Y'all gotta go stream that Fuego Valley.
Man.
Y'all gotta go stream that Fuego Valley. You wanna hear that shit in full? You gotta go stream that Fuego Valley. That shit is fire. And it's crazy to think that you recorded that shit years ago from what you're telling me right now. So what made now the right time?
I mean, honestly, like I said, it was just a change of plans with everything that was going on, you know, like it just kind of, like I said, not only did it messed up things for everybody, basically, you know what I mean? So that it was more like a improv kind of thing, you know, but like I said, it's something that it was either now or never, because if I didn't drop it now and everything, you know,
The time for it would just pass.
and I would just be.
And I feel like the sound, like music right now is already transcending. So it's like you don't want to leave it too far in the past.
Yeah.
Because like for me, like I used to produce before I was doing all of this. So like for me, like when I go back and I listen to like some of my beats that are past like a certain amount of time, I'm like, damn, this would have been fire at this time. You know, like not literally that exact time, but like up until like this time. But like now it's already past that point.
Yeah, most definitely.
So I feel you on that. I feel like that happens with music. But like when it came to actually releasing it and stuff, did you feel like there was just like a new purpose behind it? Like when the time came, like it was just like, yo, like this actually would make sense right now.
It actually did too, you know. It wasn't just like, okay, you know, because I had other songs that I could have, you know, compiled together to make a project in a way. Like I have, like I said, I'm sitting on a lot of music, you know. Like a lot of it still has to go through transitions as far as mixing and mastering, but I still have a collective body of music. You feel me? So I could have easily just, oh, you know what? I like these 6 songs, they fit together, and then I like those 7 songs because it's a large library, and I could have just easily put something together. You feel me? But I felt like that was already together. It was there sitting, mix and master. Like it was literally already ready to go. You feel me?
Yeah, and there was a purpose behind it, just like the whole thing. Like you knew there was something about it.
For me, yeah, I always knew that there was something about it. I just needed to drop, the timing. Like I was saying, telling people, putting on the Instagram posters. It was just the timing. So it was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go another year, 3 years without not dropping nothing. So I was like, the year's about to end. Let me just drop it, man.
Yeah, and I feel like this is the best year to do that. In all honesty, like it's been such a wacky ass year that it's just like, you know what? I may as well be dropping this right now because it already fits the sound of today. And it only allows you a little more cushion to keep recording and be able to compile a new body of work for these next few years to come.
I feel like at the time of making it too, it was like a lot of influence. You feel me? Like especially with that. I don't know. The cover for me is what kind of like made me go.
Explain the cover because it's definitely an interesting one.
We actually, that's a funny story because we knew someone who was able to get the shout out Vlad Sebetov, but he's a cover design, a graphic designer, and he sent us a couple actually, but that was the one that really stuck out, like
there was just something about it.
Yeah, and it kind of represented what I was trying to bring to the music too. Like if you look at it, man, for me it's like I see a hunger for two different things, and then I brought that with the body of music I have. Just like if you look at the way
you see the two hands like reaching at like,
but they're reaching it differently, as far as the whatever it is. That's for me. That's like end goal. That's the diamond. That's what everybody wants. That's what I see. I see two ways to get it, or it's two ways of going through it, or it's two kinds of it's
the angel and the devil on each shoulder.
It's both those sides coinciding with each other. And when I listen to the music and the sound and the way it projects, like it goes from that. It goes from aggressive to a more like aggressive approach to like basically if you listen to the songs, it's like I know what's going on. This is what it is. I have a firm approach to what I'm doing. Same end goal. And then on the other side is things that I may be going through emotionally. If you listen to the project, it's a long stretch, and there's also the other side of what I could be going through, which is like, relationship issues and things like that. So for me, it's both sides of the spectrum. You feel me? Like, because with my relationship issues, if you listen to the music, I still have the same end result. I still want the same end result. You feel me? There's things that I imagine will happen with this person in there is not going to be visible at the end of the result. And this is why if you look at the hands and the way they're reaching, more aggressive approach, I know what I'm doing. Like this is for that side of my life, which is trying to like basically plant my foot as far as like I was telling you, like I'm one of the best artists in Miami. That's that approach. That end result is gonna be there. And then there's the other side where I said like where relationship issues, interpersonal issues with at the time my ex. I'm obviously talking about her, but you feel me? I wasn't trying to say that, but yeah, you feel me? bro,
she ain't getting no shine out of this shit.
I wasn't trying to do that, but no. But so like yeah, but at the end of the day, that's really what it's about. So it's the same thing. I want the same end results, but it's two different sides of life happening right now. That's like. It's like I'm reaching for it, but if you look, one is like I know I'm gonna get it. If you look at the hand, that's how I feel. I know I'm gonna get it. Nothing's gonna stop me. Another one's like it feels like it's like it's a soft, more like
it's more reluctant.
Yeah,
it's considerate toward what other things may be feeling toward reaching this.
If you look at you get my drift. You get what I'm trying
to say. I get what you're trying to say. So I'm gonna get a little introspective with you real quick, because like. I don't think it was this week, but maybe like a few weeks ago, like I remember I kind of got into the conversation about like why can't people just see like good and just like do good, and you're like here talking about like things you're going through, right? So like for instance, like the song Changes is a big one that kind of like shows that side of what you're talking about. But with like good and evil, a lot of people forget the idea, like how you're saying like the two hands, the devil and the angel. A lot of people forget that like if we didn't have the bad happen, we would never learn, we would never grow, we would never advance. Right? If everybody was just good, then all right, that's great. Like everybody's nice and all this stuff. But what would we really be doing? Would we still be stuck trying to wonder how to make fire at that point? Or is it that maybe somebody pissed somebody off so much that they ended up like sparking two rocks together and all of a sudden fire happened, right? And they advanced as a human at that point. Yeah. Do you feel like this project showed that growth for you, like not only as an artist, but just like that human side of you? Because you're here even like kind of like saying it, like there was so much personal shit going on for you. It felt like there were two different sides to everything, that you had your artistry, but you also had this actual human that was going through shit at the same time.
Yes, yeah, and I think that's why I really love this project so much, because it displays that timelessly throughout the years. Like I made that when I was not even 20, you get what I mean? Like about 20, 19, 20, and it still resonates with what I'm doing 5 years later. You
Yeah.
know? And that's why I felt like
It's a part of who you are now.
Exactly, as a person. So that's why I love this project, and that's why I really want people to go listen to it. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's
So what it sounds like it is, right? And it's crazy because I look at like this scar on my hand, right? It's like a scar that at the time you were wounded, right? But over time you've healed, and like you look at the scar now, and like although at that time it was painful, although it was something that helped you become who you are now, you look back at it and you can't help almost just be happy because it's like if that didn't happen,
I wouldn't be who I am.
I wouldn't be who I am. And that's what I'm
Facts.
saying is like we would never advance like if we didn't have those moments. So like
That's
it's really
facts.
dope to see that happen, like especially as an artist, because a lot of people they talk about materialistic shit. A lot of people they talk about, you know, shit they go out and they do, right? It took a lot for an artist in the pandemic to release a project that actually had substance to it. Because anybody who was releasing shit that really didn't have substance, name me 5 projects you could think of right now that happened during the pandemic that really had no substance to it that you could truly think of.
I can name you some songs.
That's what I'm saying. You couldn't name me the projects, right? There's just those hit songs.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the pandemic has taught this music business right now. So it's pretty dope to see what you got going on.
Appreciate that,
I can't wait to see what's going to happen in 2021. But let's play the people another track, and then we're going to talk about 2021 right quick. But this next track, I'm pretty sure this was the single off of it because I think you had a video for it, but Chips and Dip.
Oh, yeah. You could basically say that, yeah. And it was a year, but it doesn't matter when you drop in music. But, yeah, it's a year-old single that I used, you know. Yeah, pretty much.
Still fire.
Still
And
fire.
we gonna run it.
Good luck.
This is Chips and Dip. Fuego Valley. Y'all go stream it. It's available everywhere.
Ain't no going back now. Get next up. No, you're rocking this bitch. Look, run up the chips and dip. Yeah, bitches up in my whip. Yeah, pretty little bitch, she thick. Yeah, I think I might just sit. Yeah, this is the life I live. Yeah, ain't no going back now. Ain't no going back now. I like the bread on time, yeah. One in there, my 9, yeah. Bitch in my bed, she fine, yeah. Poppin' pills to unwind, yeah. Ain't no going back now. Ain't no going back now. Ain't no going back now. Yeah, I got the game like Nintendo. Ain't nowhere that we can't go. So many foes, I peep them though. Nigga creep that heat gon' blow. Run up the bands, I need that though. Fuck it once I release that hoe. I ain't the one to play with my heart. Gotta know that it came from the dog. You tryna run game like PS4. Set the bread and I keep playing, bro. Hit him up, let the heat hang low. Run it up like Usain Bolt. Ain't nowhere that we can't go. Tryna snake, I peep them though. I ain't the one, I add this bitch out. Fuck around and we hunting them down. Shoot the Glock and I'm loving the sound. Hit the block and run up the amount. Got my eye on that bitch like a scout. Smoke a lot in the whip with a thotty. Got a booty like Buffy the body. One of these niggas just copy. I'm a Zoe, but she calling me Bobby. Yeah, I'm skinny, my attitude cocky. I got my drip on 8 shit. She wanna kick no A6. All black to feel like Matrix. Bitch, I know one like I'm Neo. You ain't a rat, you a weasel. Smoking on cookie and diesel. Never switched up on the lingo. Better know I do this shit for my people, yeah. Run up the chips and dip, yeah. Bitches up in my whip, yeah. Pretty little bitch, she thick, yeah. I think I might just sit, yeah. This is the life I live, yeah. Ain't no going back now. Ain't no going back now. I like the bread on time.
Let's run another one for him real quick. Before we talk about the future, we're going to rewind time right quick.
Oh, that's the one too. You feel me? These are vibes, man. These are vibes.
This one probably my favorite.
And I won't be the only man. And if I'm wrong, no wanna tell me and I won't again. If love resemble fire, ours will be smoking. And I'm sorry for the trouble. See, this the shit I'm holding and I never changed my mind. I just had to take some time, realize where I belong. Push the shit aside. Had me on the web, almost made me lose my mind. But love don't give me pain, so I had to choose a grind. You know that I'm on the money chase. I hope that you're not just another fish. 3 weeks and a couple days on the way. Got the number of my cell and you know where I stay. Sad to say, even my mama was asking how we met, but she wasn't impressed and assumed that it wouldn't last. So maybe if I was less in my feelings and insecure, you probably could have been next to me chilling and twisting fur. I'm just keeping it cool, but I hope you do with these words. I'm just letting you know that I'm getting what I deserve. Hold up. Do you know who I am?
Y'all Y'all gotta stream that Fuego Valley.
Tell me, man.
Y'all gotta go stream that Fuego Valley. It's available everywhere now. Apple Music, Spotify. I'm pretty sure what Tidal everywhere.
Nah, just Apple Music and Spotify.
Okay. Even at that, that's about what everybody got.
Pretty much, yeah. Shout out Tidal though, you know. I'm gonna get it on there soon. We gonna figure.
Yeah, Tidal definitely for the artist. But let's talk about 2021 right quick. What's happening for Kidd Adamz 2021? What do you expect for yourself out of the future? What is a goal you set for yourself? How do you feel about yourself heading into this future?
I'm extremely optimistic. You know, as we still gotta wait and see what's up with COVID. But 9 times out of 10, if everything, you know, they saying it's not gonna get back to normal. But if things get back on track and you know things start opening up, I feel like it's gonna be a really good year for me, man. I feel like it's gonna be a really, really good year. I'm not gonna say too much, but I believe in my heart it's gonna be a great year. It's gonna be a great year.
Okay. Could we expect another project? Do you have something in the works? Or what do you think musically is going to happen?
You know, at this point, I don't even want to make promises, so I'm gonna say no. And I think at this point, like, yeah, I'm going back to probably like that hiatus. You know, I'll probably drop some videos for the project to kind of, you know, keep that up with it and then wrap it up. But then I'm probably just gonna not drop any music for a while again.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. I can't be. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, like, but
the music's going to be made though, right?
The music's gonna continue.
Yeah.
I'll drop snippets on my stories and shit. But I don't think I really want to like. I don't want to rush back into dropping music. I'm gonna take my time, and I
mean, the reception of this project alone seems to have been great.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know. You know, for me, I think there's still a lot more I have to do as far as promotion wise, because I really want to get that.
But for less than a month though, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
for less than a month, I think you've actually been doing pretty solid with it.
Appreciate it, you know.
I think the city's gonna learn to appreciate this because, in all honesty, you've been killing it with this project. I like it a lot.
Good luck, man. That means you really took a thorough listen to it.
Yeah, and it was crazy because like when I was first listening to it, me and my girl were driving like about an hour somewhere, and I remember I was exhausted. It was because it was like right after I just got out of work or whatever it was. So I ended up actually falling asleep, but she listened to the whole tape before I actually listened to the whole tape. Mm-hmm. And when I got up, she's like, you know, at first, like, I thought it was just gonna be like, you know, like another one of these like trap artists that you just play. She's like, but actually listen to it. She's like, it was actually pretty good. And like, she's a tough cookie to impress. No cap. There's a select few artists that actually bring on my show where she's actually like, I can actually listen to this. And like your project was one of those projects. She's like, I didn't even like let a song like skip or none of that. So she listened to the whole thing through. So trust me, I tell you, you definitely got something going for you, bro.
Appreciate it, man. You know.
That's how my inbox was looking. That's why I kept calling him. Like, bro, you know what's good about your consistency is the fact that when you do put something out, it's not like people gonna be like,
yeah.
music. It's like, yo, this shit's hard. Then when I hit him, he made the beat too. They're like, what the?
Yeah, that was actually another thing. You produced tracks on this and like other projects as well. I saw.
Yeah, you know, I'm a fan of that. I believe, man, I like, you know, I feel like I can find great singles off other producers. Don't get me wrong. I really do feel like I think that's the chemistry. You know, once I find it with certain producers and things like that, you know. But I love making that's gonna be me all the time. I love making music on my own beats. Like I'm never gonna not make
I don't think
music.
there's nothing better than that kind of idea. And it's not even to take away from the other producers, but I think it's always good. Like, for example, right? If you own a business, I'd rather work for you if you're willing to jump into the mud with me than you just be like, oh, but I put the money into the business. Like, you need to do all the work. That's where I think a lot of people are exposing like how record labels are working, is because a lot of these, you know, people that are fronting up the money at labels, they're not actually jumping into the studio and engineering if the engineer goes down or anything like that. They're just like, oh, well, if I throw more money, like who else could we get in here? Which I mean, it helps, but is it really what you need at the end? No, it's not.
I think if you ask a lot of the major artists today, man, I think they'll tell you like studio ethic when it comes to recording is very sacred. It's not something you could just, you know, toss around engineers and just like hoping and pray your song. Like, you know, yeah, they are professionals, but then there's something that somebody really believing in your sound and going to producers. I mean, engineers do that when they believe in your music. Because I've had a couple engineers, different engineers, you know, like, and my sound, and I can tell by the way my sound is mixed to the same. Like, it literally would sound the same, but in the way they want. You know what I mean? So like, it sounds kind of crazy, but I know what I'm talking about. Like. Certain engineers, I just feel like when they really believe in the artist, they'll kick that extra mile about, you know, doing certain tweaks or experimenting to kind of see what they can do to enhance their sound. I've seen it happen so many times with my music, so I know what I'm talking about, you know. But Like that's why it's really sacred. That's why I say it's not just about just throwing people out in the room. I think, if that is a problem in the industry, I don't know because I'm not in there yet. But I'll hopefully I get to experience that someday. You feel me? Someday.
Well, hopefully, and not the way where you would get, not benefit
Even
from the
if-
situation.
Well, it's, I feel like I'm gonna, and that's the thing that I'm open. Like I'm gonna embrace every situation because it's gonna be an opportunity to grow. I can't look back at anything and feel like, oh, I didn't get anything from it, or as long as it's not really backtracking me in any way. You feel me? If it's an experience that I can get over or anything like that, I'm open to, like, not saying that I'm gonna let it happen.
Yeah, you don't want to consistently disappoint yourself, obviously.
No, definitely not.
But if you at least learn off that one time, you learn something from it. So there is obviously value.
Most people, all they need is one time for a situation to learn never to do anything.
Facts. And they'll just back right off. Just be like, you know what? Never mind. This wasn't going to work. Hopefully I wish you the best with somebody else down the line. Maybe it'll work out wherever else you're headed.
That's just, and that's as professional as you can get without holding bad bridges or grudges with anybody. You know what I mean? Like, you just keep it professional. Say it didn't work out. Best of luck. Let me keep it moving. You feel me? And I think that is the best thing about being an artist and growing in this industry, bro. Like, it's gonna be so many chances, man. There's gonna be so many chances and so many opportunities for everybody because it's abundant. There's always, when things get back into place, there's always gonna be concerts. There's always gonna be A&Rs and people looking for music in different regions.
Yeah,
it's a big.
You don't always have to take the first situation that comes your way, but you can embrace it and see where it might lead you. And that's networking right there.
We've had a lot of those situations enough to know exactly, like,
yeah.
It's
so.
like prison, really. When you sign a contract, there's years on these contracts. It tells you, so mentally, like, this is gonna be like.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You gotta think to yourself, like, is this something worth committing? It's like dating, your significant other. You just gotta think to yourself at that point, like, yo, is this something I need to invest into over the next few years? Because, like, even like when I met my girl, for example, I wasn't looking for a relationship, but like certain things just clicked where I was like, well, I'm not going to just like shy this away. Like if I push this away, like I may not get an opportunity like this again. And I still seized the opportunity and ended up playing out for the more positive.
Yeah, but I feel like every opportunity, if you're on the path of chasing something, like, jump into it.
Yeah.
Because, like they say, whatever you're gonna learn from it, whatever you're gonna get from it, whatever it's gonna get from you, is gonna be worth it at the end of the day.
It's gonna hold you down for life.
Yeah, so don't look at opportunities, or some people shy away from that type of shit. They be like, I'm straight because this nah.
Yeah.
Go forward. If you telling the universe you want some shit and it's gonna put it in your face, you just ignore it.
One thing I've been telling people to do all of 2020, watch Meet the Robinsons. If you ain't watch Meet the Robinsons from Disney, what you just said, that whole movie encompasses that whole idea, what you just said. Meet the Rob. It's a kids movie. Don't get me wrong, but no cap, that shit will teach you so much because like it's all about just like, yo, you could jump into something. If you make a mistake, you learn from it and you just keep moving. And that's the kind of shit that I thrive off of. Like when I watched that movie again, I was like, damn. I was like, when I was a kid, all that shit went over my head. When I watch it back now as a man, it's like, damn, like like this kid learned from mistakes like the whole way through. You would fuck with it in all honesty, like if you actually just watch it for the purpose of what the movie's trying to get out, because it just literally shows you like, yo, no matter how much you trip and fall, like you can literally push yourself right back up and just keep going forward.
Well, that's facts, and that's what life is all about, man. It's gonna always be hard, It's gonna always be ups and there's always be downs, It's just how you manage through these. Well, the good is what you want, but the bad, it's how you manage through it that continues life, man.
Yeah. It defines your character. How well are you gonna push yourself out the mud? Like I think I like like even for myself, and like I feel like a lot of artists go through that. A lot of people see people persevere through the tough times of being a creator, right? Because when we first started, it's like you want people to repost your stuff, you want people to like invest into like merchandise and things like that, all kinds of different aspects of it. Like whether it's like you're trying to sell your album, you made like a piece of clothing, whatever the case is. A lot of people look at that kind of stuff at first and they're just like, all right, well, let's see where they keep going. And then when they look back at it and they're just like, yo, actually, they're still at it 2 or 3 years later. And now they're seeing this build. That's when they jump right back onto it. And like a lot of people get upset at that. But I think it's also something that it defines your character because people jump back into it and bought back into it because of the fact that you showed resiliency. You actually created something out of nothing. And now they have no choice, whether they wanted to in the past or not. Now they have no choice but to respect you.
Yeah. And that's the story. That's what somebody told me that, man. very important to me. He said, and I still remember this. You remember that when he said he was sitting there and he was telling us that it was like this is gonna be a part of your story. I remember him saying this.
It always is.
It didn't click to me then. I swear to God, it did not click to me then. I promise you on my
You're
life.
just like, all right, bro.
I was just like, I took it in because, I was like, okay, but it never clicked. And now it all makes sense. And I'm just like, it's okay. All right, he got it. But that's why this is all important to me. Every part, every process, man. From now is like so important no matter what.
Because it's all a part of your story.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love to hear, man. But we're going to wrap it up right there.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell the people, where can they find you? All that good stuff. Tell them the socials, all that.
Every social media is Kidd Adamz, KIDD, KI 2Ds, ADAMZ as in zebra. You feel me? Check in, tap in, check out Fuego Valley. You already know.
Yep. That boy probably already got stashed away his next project. You don't even realize it yet.
Next 7 projects. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Oh my God. Hey, I'm fucking with it though. Yeah, we were just live with Kidd Adamz. Y'all tune in. Y'all go stream that Fuego Valley. It's available now on Apple Music and Spotify. That shit's fire. Y'all got to hear it first sound here. But yeah, y'all could catch us on Sunday. Actually, we're going to be back with VVS Santoyo for the first selection Sunday of 2020. So y'all tune in. Artists, if you have music you want played on the show, if you want music to be reviewed for free by me and my guests, you can send that into emanotalk@gmail.com, and we will play it live right here on the show. We're actually only going to have 10 spots. We have 9 already filled. We have 1 spot available left. So if you want that last spot, send it now. But don't fret, because we're actually going to do back-to-back selection Sundays as well, since we're going to be off for Christmas Eve, which is on Thursday. We will actually be rescheduling the show with Chef for Sunday the 27th. And y'all can send music then too. We'll also review it then, so make sure you get that sent in. But go follow us on social media at Emano Talk. Go subscribe on YouTube and all podcast platforms. The show will be available on there tomorrow. But yeah, much love to all. Y'all go stream that Fuego Valley. Shout out Kidd Adamz. We'll catch y'all on Sunday. And till then, y'all actually enjoy this track right here. I got one more for them. And I had to save it because it had a wrestling reference to it. But this is John Cena by Kidd Adamz. Y'all go stream that Fuego Valley.
Yeah.
That sucker shit, you know what I'm saying? All this, keep that shit on the other side, you know what I'm saying?
I like this one right here. It's my kind of beat.
You know what I'm saying? No pressure, no smoke, none of that.
Yeah, I don't wanna talk to you. I'd rather take off with my pony, yo. This summer we forecast a lot of paper. Your girl wanna see me on top of her. This lobster and shrimp on tilapia. Suits at the dinner table like the mafia. We one of a kind, you can't copy us. I'll be your boy tryna copy us. They wanna know how a nigga living. They got my cousin in the penitentiary. They got me thinking about making millions. Dream of the day when he leaving prison. I got 2 aunties with breast cancer. My older cousin got heart failure. Going through life like it's all player. Still in the field like the ball players. I make you run like you run me them coins, yeah. 2,000 just to perform, yeah. I had to run up the funds, yeah. Dress it up like I'm a con, yeah. My nigga slime, you better cut the head. Drake will shoot him in the motherfucking dread. Red bone bitch, take him off the edge. Drop the pin and then we taking off again. But this ain't a smoky beat. My young niggas say he won't hold the heat. 21 ready to catch a body. So watch how you niggas approaching me. I keep the heater as close to me. You'll come around, think you could joke with me. Who the fuck you niggas supposed to be? Straight up. I'm really not feeling these new niggas. Getting no money with old heads. Bad yellow bitch and she bow leg, but she ride on my dick like a moped. I never stay for too long though. I still lay up like a Rondo. Beat up the boss like a combo. Keep a grass trim like a lawnmower. We kept the cash on us, but it never would last on us. Yeah. So we ran it back up. Yeah, we go down like cash up. See, it took a while, homie. Now that money gon' pile, homie. Yeah. Heard they wanna clap us, but they know that we strapped up. Don't make a dumb decision. Niggas around me, they got dumb precision.